where do you see yourself? Like, what do you see this company that you building really long term? Because you enjoying yourself.
Yeah. It's this has been something I've been going back and forth with in my head. Um, because the money's good and I get to work with cool people doing this for the business side of it. Part of me wants to do that, but part of me just wants to be a full-time TikToker.
Mhm.
Like, getting brand partnerships on TikTok is insane. People are getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right now I'm in a place where I'm like, do I want to invest my time into the business, or do I want to push my extra time into my platform and see if I can grow just to do that? But I think I'm going to end up doing both. And I'm already thinking about hiring on interns or somebody where I can like teach my sauce to and we can impact more people, because working with these small businesses and business owners and leaders in the city, like, it's so dope. I love
What
it.
about a lot of people would like to be media influencers, right? But a lot of people don't know how to monetize it.
Yeah,
Can you talk about that a little bit as far as like the different forms of monetization? Because obviously
I got you.
we're in completely different lanes, right? I'm 1000% on YouTube, and even I'm starting to evaluate the possibility of expanding outside of YouTube. And I make a lot of money on YouTube.
You need to teach me the YouTube sauce. I just made a channel.
No, you really do. I mean, when
Okay.
I say a lot of money, um, I make an egregious amount of money on YouTube.
I'm missing out.
When I say egregious, it's
That's how some TikTok creators are too. Like, these brand deals are like one post for 50K, which is crazy to me. One post, I go to businesses and try to get a free meal and they're getting 50K? Like, what?
yeah. We make well over six figures a month
Holy shit.
on YouTube.
Okay, teach me
You
the
got it.
sauce.
No, I definitely give you the game. I give you the game. I mean, to expand your brand over into other platforms, I think is the move that you really,
Yeah,
really want to do.
for sure.
So,
Monetizing on TikTok though, because I have like a smaller following, it's been a little hard for me because at least like national brands look at your followers. Whereas like the local people, I think they see my engagement with like the actual people that are in this city. So I have a lot of partnerships with like Lions, Pistons. I do a lot of stuff with them. My first deal, I guess, I had to hustle really fucking hard for.
so you work.
Yeah.
People think that content creators or TikTokers or YouTubers that we just be out, just recording. That's the end of the conversation.
No. I had moved when I first moved to Detroit. I lived in a 250 square foot apartment. It was tiny. It was a micro studio. I was getting so many people off my TikTok saying, I moved here because of you. I moved here because of you. I was like, I should be getting a kickback or
Yeah.
something. Like, I'm getting people to move into your building. So I went to the property managers and I was like, hey, like, I've had 10 people message me in the last month saying they moved here because I post about this. Like, can we work something out? And they were like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, damn. So I put together a media kit. I had like 20,000 followers at the time, and my engagement was not as good as it was. But I put together a media kit. I showed like engagement rates. I showed my demographic, my audience. I sent it to every apartment I could think of in Detroit. And I was like, I'm a TikTok creator. I want to live in your building. And I was hoping to get free rent. I was like, just let me live.
Yeah, that's
I was
pretty dope.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let me live for free. And none of them got back to me except for one. It was Broder and Saxy, which is off of Woodward. They have an office. And they were like, we also don't do this. So literally everyone said no to me. They were like, we don't do this, but we offer anyone, no matter who you are, like a $500 referral fee. So like you could live there and not be an influencer and get someone to move in and get $500. But they
Yeah.
were like, since you're bringing people in, it might work out for you. I was like, I guess I'll do it. Within the first 3 months, I had 23 people use my referral code. Broder and Saxy called me and they were like, we don't know what you are doing, but people are moving in here because of you. And at this point, like, we can't credit your account anymore. Like, we're going to have to write you a check for this money that we
Wow.
owe you for getting people to move in. And I was like, I knew this shit worked. I knew this would work. And they're like, and we would like to renegotiate a contract. So that was like my first deal, but I had to hustle for it. I
Yeah.
had to take a chance. I moved into an apartment that I could not afford if I wasn't getting, these referral fees. But then it ended up working out for me, and now I kind of have a sick deal with them. So
That's
I
beautiful.
get a discount off my rent. I still post videos about where I live. I love where I live. That's one thing. I never want to push something that I actually don't,
Don't do,
vibe
well,
with.
that's what makes you awesome, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes it authentic. I think that what you're doing is the right way to do it, right? And let me break this down. I think what you're doing, and it's the same way that I did it, is that your core audience are people that really rock with you. Because it's one thing to just get a lot of followers, and it's another thing to actually be an influencer. And I think it's a difference between the two. To have fair weather people that rock with you occasionally is cool, like just to have a lot of followers. To have people that really believe in what it is that you're doing is a completely different conversation, because now you're starting to get into a space to where what you say matters, and so it resonates a lot more. And I think that when you have a strong core audience, you can go anywhere, you can do anything. So even though it may not be like, oh, well, I got 1 million followers, so to speak, you got a core 30,000 that really, really love you and rock with you, and you can make an impact when you having these brand deals. But you gave so much game as far as I don't the how is awesome, but the hustle is the thing that actually resonate the most with me. Right?
It's a
Because you was
Detroit
just
thing.
like, listen, you can have it, but you got to hustle to go and get it.
For sure.
And you hustle, you
I'm
work.
still hustling. Like last night was St. Patty's Day and all my friends are out partying, but to me, like that's a big content opportunity. There's a ton of people in the city acting
Looking at it from a
wild.
business perspective.
Yeah, so I go out with my friends and they're like, "Why aren't you drinking?" I'm like, "'Cause I'm about to take a lap around the city after this and get all these crazy people acting out." Because that's like what my audience wants to see. So it's always a hustle.
And it's work. That's work. People don't understand. When I go places and she like, well, listen, we here, we might as well go and have fun. And I got my camera out and I'm working for the next 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever, and I'm capturing content. And then I might have to stitch it together or edit it and stuff like that. That's a lot of work.
It's
People
work.
people have no
People
clue.
have teams that do it for them. That's what I'm getting hired to do for other people right now.
Yeah.
So, but
Well,
it's like,
talk about that for a minute as far as like the actual work side of it, because people think that just because you out doing it because you love what you do, that it's all party and games and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But in reality, if you had to compare the amount of time that you spend working on it versus the time that you actually partying when you recording it, what would you say that ratio looks like?
I'm working on it way more. Like I would say it's like 70-30. I'm thinking about it, I'm editing it, and then 30% of the time I'm actually out there doing it. But especially like for these other like not brand deals for Anaerobic. So for like, I'm working on behalf of like right now I'm talking to Moots. I might have something with them. Like that's more time consuming to me. Creating content for other people, because that's harder for me I have to capture their brand voice. I already know who Anaerobic XO is. I show that shit all day. But being able to capture other people's voices and other businesses' voices is something that I'm still working on, and it takes me more time.